Um, the Proud Boys are basically just, or as I like to call them, Proud Pricks, are only right about one thing. It's fucking ridiculous that Trump's not in prison yet when he should be. Now, hold on a second here. Basically they're all going on trial for their participation in the Klan attack that happened 2 years ago on the Capitol. And so the former squatter Donald Trump told these people that the election was stolen when he had no evidence to prove that, and he declared the lawyer for Proud Boys later Enrique Tarrio last week during opening remarks for his client's trial on charges of seditious conspiracy. Now Tarrio and other Proud Boys, or Proud Pricks as I like to call them, who believed they were acting on Trump's wishes when they stormed the U.S. Capitol to instigate the Klan attack on January 6th of 2021, are nothing more than merely scapegoats for the government. And he continued because it would be too hard to put the ex-squatter on the witness stand with his army of lawyers. Now Tarrio and four other Proud Pricks are currently standing trial for attempting to overthrow the government. Now most media coverage of their attorneys has been nothing but a get a load of these toolbag varieties. Um, Now Joe Biggs, the Proud Boy, the Proud Prick, whose pre-January 6 activities included jokingly advocating using rupees to rape women, had a particularly high-drama defense team. One of his lawyers had his law license suspended right before trial, and thanks to misconduct in defending another Klan insurrectionist sympathizer, the fat fuck Alec Jones of InfoWars. Another got into an ugly shooting match with the judge. Another lawyer for a different defendant, Zachary Real, has been late to court so often that she got scolded by the judge. Um, so maybe it's surprising that any defense attorneys for the Proud Pricks have said anything coherent, let alone incisive. No. Yet right here in the opening arguments, Sabino Jauregui, I'm not sure if I'm saying that name right, who was defending Tarrio, went straight at the prosecutor's weak spot. The government is putting the Klan insurrectionists, put soldiers on trial, while leaving the man who led and directed them, Donald Trump, not just untouched by the law, but running for squatter again, supposedly. As as defense strategies go, mind you, that's a fairly weak fucking argument. But even if we accept, as indeed as we should, that Trump is the guiltiest of all people who were involved in the January 6th Klan insurrection, that doesn't mean that thousands of other people who are part of the Klan insurrection are innocent. Those who acted on Trump's implicit orders are full-grown adults who had every fucking opportunity to say no, as evidenced by the 258 million adult, um, as evidenced by the 258 million adult Americans who also heard the big lie but did not attempt the violent overthrow of democracy. But claiming that Trump made me do it is a fucking pathetic excuse. But even more than the Oath Keepers convicted last year for their role in the Klan insurrection, the Proud Pricks now on trial face a likely insurmountable pile of evidence of their guilt. Not only is there photo and video evidence of most of them committing crimes during the riot, there's a but there's also an extensive catalog of text messages and other communication showing how much planning and intent that there was before it all happened. So trying to blame Trump's incitement and making the implausible claim that the Proud Pricks just got swept up in the moment is all they fucking got. Now, notably, the Oath Keepers tried a similar defense last year. All their online chatter about Klan insurrections was just macho bluster, and when they acted on those urges, it was a spontaneous impulse. But despite reports suggesting their defense team might try to pin the blame on Trump at trial, their lawyers stepped carefully around the argument that maybe the ringleader should face harsher punishment than his fucking minions. Now, what has changed to make the defense team for the Proud Pricks speak out against Trump? And it may just be a reaction to the outcome in the Oath Keepers trial, where all 5 defendants now facing serious prison sentences. It might also be because the judge in this trial is allowing the prosecution to play the famous video clip of Trump calling on the Proud Pricks to stand by, implying that orders for violent action would soon be coming. With that in evidence, the defense may feel that they have no choice but to redirect attention from those who followed the order to the man who gave it. Now, ultimately, however, I suspect this shift in tactics between the two cases reflects a growing sense of frustration in the larger public over the continuing failure of Attorney General Merrick Garland and the Department of Justice to hold Trump accountable for leading quite literally an attempted fascist coup. Now, since the Oath Keepers trial ended, for instance, the House Select Committee investigating the January 6th Klan attack has issued its final report, which did not shy away from imploring the DOJ to prosecute Trump. But the central cause of January 6th was one man, former squatter Donald Trump, and it reads the committee's executive summary. Accountability for this can only be found in the criminal justice system, the committee chair, Representative Benny Thompson, who's a Democrat from Mississippi, said during the panel's final public meeting. Now, while this is purely anecdotal, I've noticed an uptick in the past month of cable news talking heads insisting that Trump needs to be indicted. Now, some of this is likely driven by hope as Garland finally, and arguably months too late, appointed Special Prosecutor Jack Smith to deal with the Trump situation. But it's also driven by how effective the House committee was in showing not just that Trump incited and directed the Klan insurrection, but that evidence of his guilt was always there, and for those willing to look for it. Now, polling data shows that 64% of Americans, basically anyone who isn't a faux news junkie, put a lot or some responsibility for the events of January 6th on Trump, and that percentage is almost certainly higher in and around Washington, D.C., where this trial is being held. But it's less clear whether that translates into sympathy for the peons who raided the Capitol at Trump's bidding. Certainly, the January 6th committee, likely due to the influence of Vice Chair Liz Cheney, presented at least some of the insurrectionists as being gullible victims of Trump's machinations. They put their faith and their trust in Donald Trump, Cheney had said during a July committee hearing, in which one convicted rioter gave testimony expressing remorse for his role in the insurrection. Yeah, and I doubt that he feels any remorse at all. Even though he was faking remorse. Ultimately, I'd be surprised if the innocent dupes argument gets much traction with a D.C. jury whose members were close to the action, and probably understand that the destruction was the result of people choosing to believe every lie that Trump told. Now, still, there's some validity to the idea that it's unfair to convict the proud pricks while Trump plays golf in Palm Beach. It will certainly make things uncomfortable for the prosecutors who work for the same DOJ that has yet to file a single charge against a former squatter, and that's likely not enough to lead to acquittals for the proud pricks, but I wouldn't be surprised if at least some jurors flinch at convicting these nimrods on the most serious charges while Trump plays his get out of the jail free card. Now, of course, if Merrick Garland wants to relieve the tension created by this contradiction, I hear he manages law enforcement officers who have handcuffs and guns and all that shit, and who arrest people all the fucking time. And why are you going after the little guys and not the loser? Suddenly, losses all merit if Trump is actually arrested. The Proud Pricks trial is expected to last for several weeks, but that's plenty of time for the defense to taunt prosecution about the government's cowardice, and plenty of time for Garland to file an indictment against Trump and take the argument away for good. Now, if you like the video, you can give the video a like and subscribe to my channel, RBW King. You can also hit the notification bell so that you'll be notified when a new video comes out. And if you want to support my work even further, you can donate to my Patreon link, which you can find either on the bottom part of the video, or also you can find it on the About section of YouTube, and for just as little as $3 a month. Your donation can help go a long way, and thanks for listening.